Hey guys, my name is Danish and welcome back to my channel, and today we go to Spain for the Circuit de Barcelona El Catalunya. It's an interesting sort of race with a bit of a segmentation in the middle, so let's just right into it. Start of the weekend, free practice sessions, FP1, FP2, FP3, they were pretty normal, pretty hectic with everybody trying on all the tires, and we got to know pretty quickly that the hards were not a really good race tire, so it was out of the option. So the race tire was going to be the soft and the medium, and it was either going to be a one-stop race or a two-stop race. So nearly all of the runners were planning to start on the softs, which I'll get to in a minute. So talking about the free practice sessions, we had only one incident where we had Robert Kubica get out into the gravel trap on the exit of turn 10, which was a newly reprofiled turn 10, and there were a few minor changes to the track, but this track does not really encourage overtaking, so track position was the king nearly most of the time, with a few exceptions which I'll come to when it happens in the race. So coming to qualifying, it was a normal session with, I think, Norris spun out and brought a few sectors with yellow flag, but it didn't affect anybody majorly, so it wasn't a big deal. In Q1 we got one incident where Nikita Mazepin did block Lando Norris on his quick run, which will come to a penalty of 3 places, but with him starting 20th, spoilers duh, but 20th, absolutely, there wasn't a big deal, but one penalty point to his license was added, and Norris thought it was an unfair penalty, but rules are rules, and it happened at the final corner where everybody queue up to go into the start of their laps, and it was always a mess. And this happens in Monza as well, because the straight is quite long and proper prep work is needed from the final 2 corners. So at the end of Q1 we got a few people kicked out, so Nikita Mazepin bottom as always, Nicholas Latifi P19, Mick Schumacher had a good showing with P18, Kimi Raikkonen unlucky P17, and Yuki Tsunoda P16. So these were the runners that are out in Q1. And now coming to Q2, all of the runners went out on the soft tire. Nobody went out on the mediums. Everybody went on the softs. So the people kicked out in Q2 were George Russell P15, Antonio Giovinazzi P14, Sebastian Vettel P13, Pierre Gasly P12, and Lance Stroll P10. So both Aston Martins out in Q2, which was pretty disappointing, but in the current lineup of team ranking, they do stand around 5th and 6th behind McLaren and Alpine. Now coming on to Q3, we had a few interesting runs, because the first run was the run where everybody went quickly, but in the second run not a lot of people improved because the wind picked up, and I'll go through the order. So Alonso comes out P10, Lando Norris P9, Sergio Perez P8, Kimi Raikkonen P7, Carlos Sainz P6, a good showing, Ocon good showing from Alpine in P5, Leclerc P4, Bottas P3, Verstappen P2, and Hamilton P1. He has 100 P1 qualifying in his entire career. There are a few teams who have done 100 qualifying P1s, but Lewis is the first one to do 100 of them as a racing driver, which is a really huge achievement. Now coming on to the race, everybody out of the top 10 also who had free tire choice went for the soft tire choice, other than Kimi Raikkonen, who started P17, who started on the mediums. So he was the only one to challenge the strategy to go for a reverse type strategy, because everybody started on the softs, they would switch to the mediums around lap 20-25 and go to the end, or switch to the mediums and then have another set of softs in the end, or another set of mediums in the end, and do it either a one stop or a 2-stop race. So on lap 1 we did not have any major incident other than Verstappen taking the lead from Hamilton into the first corner. Now we have seen this in the previous few races as well, where Verstappen does get a jump on Hamilton in the start and stays there for quite a while, but whatever is coming is inevitable. So in the beginning of the race, Verstappen went up ahead of Hamilton. There was no major incident behind them. Nobody touched. Nobody had a spin. It was a normal race start, which was really weird to see on the lap 1. And then Leclerc gained a position in front of Bottas when he went out on the curve on turn 3 and overtook Bottas. Ocon lost a few positions. Sainz lost a few positions. Vettel gained a position. Raikkonen gained 3 positions. And Mick Schumacher also gained 3 positions, where Russell dropped 2 positions. positions, and after that it was a normal race until we got our first incident. So this was Yuki Tsunoda whose car stopped, so engine issues. So on lap 7 it was full safety car, and this put a spanner into everybody's strategy because people were always planning to do a 1 or 2, and it was really between them. And as soon as the full safety car came out, it really started pivoting towards a one-stop strategy. So the safety car was there for about 4 laps, and after that it was again a chase as normal. So there were a few fights going on in the middle of this. So the Vettel, Stroll and Gasly and Raikkonen were having a scrap. The bottom 4, which is the Haas boys and the Williams boys, were having a scrap, and it was a bit of a mixed set of localized fights that were going on. But on the overarching top of the grid there wasn't a bit of a fight. Hamilton was still chasing Verstappen, and he will keep on chasing for a while longer. So with a few mix-up of strategies, we had a few unorthodox pit stops. So we had Antonio Giovinazzi, who pit really early on lap 12 or something and came out last. Russell and Latifi also pitted on lap 18, which was pretty early, I guess, for both of them. And then Alonso also pits on lap 17. Vettel pits on lap 17 back to back, and they stay the same order in P17 and P19. Gasly also pits, Sainz pits, Bottas pits on lap 24 for mediums. Ocon and Norris, both of them pit on the same lap. Max Verstappen pits on lap 24 for the mediums. But then Lewis doesn't pit right behind Max, so he stays out, and between them and Ricardo, Perez and Latifi also pits, and Lewis hadn't pit even after 3 laps after Max Verstappen pitted. So this was a bit of a weird strategy call, and Lewis did actually pit on lap 28 for the mediums, and he comes out 5 seconds I think behind Max Verstappen. And here is where the spiciness begins. So this is where the chase starts, and the Mercedes shows its true power on the medium tires and started catching everybody up pretty quickly at around 1.5 seconds a lap. And then Leclerc also pits the same lap 28, which was actually 5 laps after Bottas pit, and he lost the position because of that. So Bottas came up to P3 because of that, and he did not have to do an overtake on track. And then we had a few scraps again over here. So this was from P12 to P15, which was Gasly, Vettel, Alonso and Giovinazzi, who were really in a DRS train. So all of them were fighting. It was at a few corners, it was like there were 2 people at the same corner head to head, and it was a good thing to watch the midfield battles like this, and I want to see a lot more of this. But I guess we won't get to see that next weekend because it's Monaco and not really an overtaking track. But yeah, that's a lot of foreshadowing for the next weekend where I don't know what's gonna happen. So let's continue on with this race weekend. And then we got the Kimi chart. So he started out P16 and he was already up to P6 on the mediums, and he hadn't pit yet, which was really starting to show his age because he was starting to lose pace, and he had to pit as soon as possible to get back on track. And Hamilton by the lap 68 was at the tail end of Max Verstappen and chasing him down, and he was getting DRS, and he was really close, but he just could not get close enough to have an overtake on Max Verstappen. Kimi finally pits for his first pit stop on lap 38, and on lap 40 both Aston Martins also pit for their second pit stop. Now Lewis was really getting close from lap 36 and all the way to lap 43, where he was just really close to Max Verstappen, and he just turns into the pits and pits for another set of mediums. So this was a surprise move from Mercedes, which really was not in account from Red Bull. So this was a good pit stop because it was only Bottas behind, and there was a huge gap behind him to Leclerc, so they could easily do team orders and have Lewis push. So Lewis pit and Max did not have a choice. So this was coming back again like we had in Hungary in 2019, where a late second pit stop was a surprise, gave Lewis a lot of charging power and a lot of grip to chase a dying tire Max Verstappen. So he started chasing, and it was a great charge from Lewis, and it was like about 1.5 seconds a lap he was gaining into Max Verstappen. So he was 22 seconds behind Max Verstappen, and he had about 22 laps to complete. So it was lap 44, he had all the way till lap 66 to get the overtake done, and he was pushing and pushing and pushing. He was just getting about 1.5 to 2 seconds of a difference and cutting into the gap between him and Max, and he was really pushing, and Max really couldn't do anything because he had to nurse these tires all the way to the end of the race. And if he pit now, he would come out P3 instead of P2 because Bottas was there in the middle, and Lewis was nicely charging, and when he came up to Bottas did get the order to move away, but around turn 3 he didn't see him, or that's what he said on the radio. So Lewis actually did overtake him using DRS on the smaller straight after turn 5, and then it was Lewis P2, Max P1 with just a few seconds between them, and Lewis was already at the tail end of Max by lap 58, and he was about 1.5 seconds away, and in 2 laps he was in DRS range. He did his attack. Max tried to weave about to break the toe and break the slipstreaming effect, but it didn't work. Lewis just had a lot more grip and a lot more pace in him, and he just did the overtake on the outside of Max Verstappen, and he took the lead. 6 laps to go, and he just stayed there. Max stayed in P2, Bottas stayed in P3. Leclerc, actually Bottas did do a second pit stop, and he came out behind Leclerc, but with the fastest lap hunt he could easily overtake Leclerc, and he did. And Max also had a buffer now because Bottas had pit, so Max also pit for softs to get for the fastest lap, and in the end Max Verstappen did get the fastest lap of the race, but he did not get the win. So he started out P2, he ended P2, so it was status quo in the top 3, Lewis, Max and Bottas. And Lewis also broke a few records here because he matched Michael Schumacher to have 6 races on the same track of Spain, and Lewis also did it for 5 consecutive times on this track. So 5 years in the past Lewis has been winning this track, and this has been a lot of a Lewis centric track. So it was kind of an interesting race with a lot of varying pit stop strategies, which gave us a few overtakes, but all of them were because of the varying strategies. Some were on new tires, some were nursing them home, some did a few extra stops, and other than Yuki Tsunoda going out for engine troubles, there was not any incident that occurred here. And there was a lot of hate coming on for the final turn chicane thing. The start was a bit interesting because Lewis started chasing. The middle, there were a lot of mixed strategies with a lot of overtakes, and in the end it was the charge from Lewis for the last 20 laps of qualifying, like we saw in Schumacher era as well. So yeah, it was an interesting race weekend, and it's going to be a lot more interesting next weekend because it is Monaco, which is a really tight street circuit, does not allow a lot of overtaking. So I look forward to that, and I guess that's the end of this video. So if you like this video, give this video a like, get subscribed to my channel, and ring the bell icon for notifications of all of my future videos. Comment down below if I missed anything in this race weekend, and I'll see you again soon. Stay home, stay safe, peace.